My name is Ed. Okay, you might be surprised that I'm making a video on this game, even though I wasn't excited about it due to its lack of marketing. I wasn't even planning on making a video about this game, but I had to because of one simple reason. The reception for this game has been mixed within the FNAF community. It's either seen as the best FNAF game due to its scare factor and fully realized story, or as the worst FNAF game because they didn't like how repetitive the gameplay was and also criticized the impact on the lore of the games, which has caused fans to be angry about it.
Fuck you!
The discussions around it aren't as heated as Security Breach, but it does follow similar situations with its reception. I will be honest, some of the negative opinions on this game are either exaggerated or misinterpreted. For example, I have seen some fans getting mad at the fact that Edwin had a big involvement with some of the early animatronics, including the classic ones. They think that Edwin did all of the work while Afton and Henry did nothing, which is like... no? Edwin is just a contractor. Afton and Henry were commissioning Edwin with some of their ideas. Henry even asked Edwin to make a proper spring lock, but both of them stole some of his ideas and made it themselves, causing them to fuck with Edwin's work.
I got the change order from Hen last night. None of this makes sense. I'm almost done. Why change it now? It would be so much easier to keep using the spring locks. Just hire some teens to wear the suits like we always do.
It is ironic that Afton ended up making a worse spring lock that caused this theft to happen. It just adds extra irony to his demise for me. Also, Henry isn't an angel as the community described him. His sacrifice wasn't ruined because of what he did to Edwin. He is a person that I see as someone who is very flawed. Also, the Silver Eyes trilogy makes my point clear about his character writing. But that's not the thing that I want to focus on, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about the story itself. What I want to talk about is the argument that Secret of the Mimic is just a ripoff of Poppy Playtime, and I think that argument is stupid. So let's talk about it. This argument was started before we even saw the gameplay of Secret of the Mimic. During PAX, Stewell let some fans play a demo of the game in VR. One of them is an animator by the name of Coda, and he described in a deleted tweet what the gameplay is like on Twitter. He mentioned that the chase sequence of Jackie reminded him of Poppy Playtime, and this description made some fans confused about it, to say the least. The more Stewell showed off the game, the more people accused them of ripping off Playtime. This has gotten so big to the point where, I'm not kidding here, Queso of all people didn't want to play the game because it reminded him of Playtime.
I seen it, it don't look like something I'd enjoy playing. If they would just release a regular Five Nights at Freddy's game instead of something that's trying to be what's it called? Poppy Playtime, bruh. It looks like a reskin Poppy Playtime, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm not bringing his opinion here because I hate him or something. From what I have seen, he seems like a chill guy. I just brought it up because not only do I disagree with his opinion, but it also blew up on Twitter with multiple people agreeing with him. So why are people comparing Mimic to Playtime? Well, here's why they think that. It takes place in a factory, it's free roam, it has cardboard cutouts, it has a chase sequence, and that's about it. Steelwell, why did you copy their game?
I did not.
Exactly. Both games don't have the same story at all. Their gameplay is completely different, with some FNAF fans describing Mimic's gameplay as a better version of Security Breach. Whoever you play as in Playtime is a blank slate and uses a flare hand, while Arnold has a bit more to his character and can't defend himself. And both games' art style are different and try to be their own thing. Even the 4 points that I brought up before are not that special for Playtime. It doesn't have a copyright for a factory setting, and by that dumbass logic, Playtime ripped off Five Nights at Wario's. That game takes place in a PNG factory, so they must have ripped it off. Mimic having free roam doesn't make it a copy of Playtime because they already did that with Security Breach. The same year Chapter 1 of Playtime came out. Also, the gameplay isn't something that Playtime created. Cardboard cutouts from Mimic don't have lines from the mascots unlike Playtime, it just plays music as one of the ways to distract the Mimic. And the chase sequence isn't something that Playtime created, and also, Security Breach had it too. More recently, I have seen people comparing Dolly from Mimic with Miss Delight from Playtime Chapter 3 because... I don't even get what the argument is. One is a nurse that's being controlled by an aggressive mimic, and the other is just a teacher with a weeping angel mechanic. What do these two have in common? They are white? Well, so are these two. These arguments of ripping off Playtime get worse the more you actually think about it. It seems some of the fans who make this claim might not have played the game themselves. They just base it on what they see from the trailer and other streamers playing it. And what gets me about this is that Playtime was accused of ripping off Bendy, and then that was accused of ripping off FNAF. And it just becomes this non-stop debate about which mascot horror game rips off who. And it's head-scratching at best and a fucking headache at worst. Wait a second, you can grab this toy that lights up in the darkness. You know what other game did that before? So why are people so aggressive in comparing these two so much? Well, there are a ton of factors as to why Secret of the Mimic has the reception that it does. Number 1. Most FNAF fans hate modern FNAF. You know how this goes with a fan base. When it comes to a franchise that's been going on for a while, there's always gonna be a group that hates the modern stuff coming out nowadays, especially with veterans. Whether they hate it for the lore getting more confusing, the direction doesn't feel like it's for them, or they don't vibe with the free roam gameplay. That last point especially because in the Queso clip that I have shown before, he also had to say this.
I want a new Five Nights at Freddy's game to come out to where it's Five Nights at Freddy's mechanics, bro. Classic Five Nights at Freddy's is dead now, but why? Why though? Why don't they make another one? They were all the same type of premise, but with different variations without straying away from the original thing that makes it good.
And to be honest, I get what people are coming from with this. It's not a brain-dead argument as the Playtime one, they just want the sit and survive mechanic back, as they say it hasn't been used since Ultimate Custom Night, which came out 7 years ago. Even though it was in Help Wanted 2, but I guess that doesn't count because it's in VR. Whatever. I do love the sit and survive mechanic, despite FNAF 2 and 6 not having the best execution of the gameplay. In an ideal world, we would get FNAF games that still use the classic gameplay, while also having games with free roam gameplay, which just creates that perfect balance, as all things should be. But with all that being said, this was inevitable to happen. Game franchises always go through a moment where they want to change how they make their next game. Originally, Resident Evil had the fixed camera angle with tank controls. Then the team wanted to change it to something different and made the games either be third person, first person, or as if recent, both of them. You still have people begging for the fixed camera to be brought back, even having people modding the current games to have it too. You could even say that about Silent Hill. There was a major controversy with Silent Hill 2 Remake, switching it from fixed camera to third person, with some accusing the game of ripping off Resident Evil despite both of them having different gameplay. Well, doesn't that sound familiar? It's clear that Scott wants to do something different with the franchise, other than the usual gameplay that he created. And modern FNAF is really experimental, despite some of the execution. Also, I remember correctly that most people criticize the classic games for being the same game with a new number attached to them. That argument is also shit if you play these games, but I just find it funny that people are begging for them to bring that type of gameplay back. If you really want to play a FNAF game with the classic mechanic, you can either replay the original games, or better yet, play the fan games. I know that's a weird request, but trust me, the fan games expand on the formula of the classic gameplay, and some of them are really good. Playtime with Percy, Five Nights at Candy's 1 Remastered and 3, Treasure Island 2020 with its sequel, Oblitus Casa, the One Night at Flunky's trilogy, especially the third one, and lots more. You can count on my recommendations. Oh, and also, number 2. Some fans think Stewell is the incarnation of the devil. There are a lot of reasons as to why I hate this community so much, and this is one of them. After the disastrous launch of Security Breach, friends treated them like they fucked their mom or something. When you try to ask them why they hate the studio, they only mention Security Breach and none of the other games after. There are also a lot of misconceptions about the studio itself. Like, no, Steelwall isn't a AAA studio. Whoever said they were one did not do a proper research. And also, stop saying Scott has nothing to do with Steelwall. He is the only writer of Secret of the Mimic, and he blamed himself for what happened to Security Breach. Stop treating him and Steelwall like it's the same situation with Kojima versus Konami. I couldn't stand most of the community because some of them seem to not even like FNAF anymore. A new game comes out, complains about it for ruining the games to high heavens, and then just stays in the community until a new game comes out, and the cycle repeats itself. I have seen this more with veterans, and it just reminds me of modern Star Wars fans. And I'm not trying to be an asshole for what I'm about to say, but why don't you just leave? The door is right there.
What's the hottest FNAF merch ever made?
Chica plushies are pretty hot, but not as hot as the beautiful Chica mask.
If you hate everything that comes out from this franchise nowadays, why are you still following it? I don't care if my statement pisses people off. As a veteran myself, I am concerned for your mental health. Please find something that makes you happy. I have seen fans from any community not moving on, and it always results in secondhand embarrassment. Vietnam left the community after the whole Ruin situation, and while he was still able to play the FNAF games, even going as far as loving Secret of the Mimic, it's clear that he doesn't want to be a part of the community anymore because it's full of moronic assholes that are unable to move on from the past. To wrap this whole thing up, I want to say that it's fine if you didn't like Secret of the Mimic, but please think twice before you spread information about this game ripping off Playtime, because that's never the case at all. And the fact this isn't the first time that it happened just showcases why I left this community.
If you just stay the same and try to desperately chase the same feeling from when you were younger, you're just never going to be happy. And I think that harassing developers and harassing creators because they don't make exactly what you want is just going to spread more hate and negativity to people that just wanted to make you happy in the first place. You know?
This whole video made me delay the Minecraft movie review, by the way. I guess that was a good thing.